What kVA rating is required for a transformer that must handle a maximum load current of 8A with a secondary voltage of 2 kV? A. 4 kVA, B. 0.25 kVA, C. 16 kVA, D. 8 kVA. The correct answer is 16 kVA. The turns ratio required to match an 80 source to a 320 load is A. 80, B. 20, C. 4, D. 2. The correct answer is 2. When the turns ratio of a transformer is 20 and the primary AC voltage is 12 V, the secondary voltage is A. 12 V, B. 120 V, C. 240 V, D. 400 V. The correct answer is 240 V. If a transformer has 50 turns in the primary winding and 10 turns in the secondary winding, what is the reflective resistance if the secondary load resistance is 250? A. 250, B. 25, C. 250, D. 500. The correct answer is 250. A certain transformer has 400 turns in the primary winding and 200 turns in the secondary winding. The turns ratio is A. 0.2, B. 0.4, C. 5, D. 25. The correct answer is 5. The primary winding of a transformer has 110 VAC across it. What is the secondary voltage if the turns ratio is 8? A. 8.8 V, B. 88 V, C. 880 V, D. 800 V. The correct answer is 880 V. To step 110 VAC down to 20 VAC, the turns ratio must be A. 5.5, B. 18, C. 0.18, D. 0.018. The correct answer is 0.18. The mutual inductance when K 0.65 L12H and L25H is A. 2mH, B. 2H, C. 4H, D. 8H. The correct answer is 2H. If 25 watts of power are applied to the primary of an ideal transformer with a turns ratio of 10, the power delivered to the secondary load is A. 25 watts, B. 0 W, C. 250 watts, D. 2.5 watts. The correct answer is 25 watts. A transformer with a 110 V primary has a 15:1 turns ratio. The load resistance RL is 120. What is the approximate voltage across the load? A. 7.3 V, B. 73 V, C. 88 V, D. 880 V. The correct answer is 7.3 V. How many primary volts must be applied to a transformer with a turns ratio of 0.1 to obtain a secondary voltage of 9 V? A. 9 V, B. 90 V, C. 900 V, D. 0.9 V. The correct answer is 90 V. In a certain loaded transformer, the secondary voltage is 1/4 the primary voltage. The secondary current is A. 1/4 the primary current, B. 4 times the primary current, C. equal to the primary current, D. 1/4 the primary current and equal to the primary current. The correct answer is 4 times the primary current. A certain transformer has a turns ratio of 1 and a 0.85 coefficient of coupling. When 2 VAC is applied to the primary, the secondary voltage is A. 1.7 V, B. 0.85 V, C. 1 V, D. 0 V. The correct answer is 1.7 V. The primary coil of a transformer is connected to a 60 V AC source. The secondary coil is connected to a 330 load. The turns ratio is 3:1. What is the secondary voltage? A 2V, B 20V, C 180V, D 18V. The correct answer is 20V. The primary winding of a power transformer should always be A open, B shorted, C switched, D fused. The correct answer is fused. A certain amplifier has 600 internal resistance looking from its output. In order to provide maximum power to a 4-speaker, what turns ratio must be used in the coupling transformer? A 8, B 0.8, C 0.08, D 80. The correct answer is 0.08. A transformer A changes AC to DC, B changes DC to AC, C steps up or down DC voltages, D steps up or down AC voltages. The correct answer is steps up or down AC voltages. The primary of a transformer is connected to a 6V battery. The turns ratio is 1:3 and the secondary load RL is 100. The voltage across the load is A 0V, B 6V, C 18V, D 2V. The correct answer is 0V. To step 120 VAC up to 900 VAC, the turns ratio must be A 75, B 750, C 7.5, D 0.13. The correct answer is 7.5. When a 200 load resistor is connected across the secondary winding of a transformer with a turns ratio of 4, the source sees a reflective load of A 50, B 12.5, C 800, D 0. The correct answer is 12.5. In a certain transformer, the input power to the primary is 120 watts. If 8.5 watts are lost to the winding resistance, what is the output power to the load neglecting any other issues? A 0W, B 14.1 watts, C 111.5 watts, D 1020W. The correct answer is 111.5 watts. When a 6V battery is connected across the primary of a transformer with a turns ratio of 8, the secondary voltage is A 0V, B 6V, C 48V, D 0.75V. The correct answer is 0V. What is the coefficient of coupling for a transformer in which 4 of the total flux generated in the primary does not pass through the secondary? A 0.4, B 4, C 9.6, D 0.96. The correct answer is 0.96. A transformer has a 1:6 turns ratio and a secondary coil load resistance of 470. The load resistance as seen by the source is A 1.3, B 7.8, C 78, D 13. The correct answer is 13. When does maximum power transfer happen from the source to the load? A. When the source resistance is greater than the load resistance. B. When the source resistance is less than the load resistance. C. When there is negligible source resistance. D. When the source resistance equals the load resistance. The correct answer is when the source resistance equals the load resistance. A transformer is plugged into a 120 V RMS source and has a primary current of 300 mA RMS. The secondary is providing 18 V across a 10 load. What is the efficiency of the transformer? A 88, B 90, C 92, D. 95. The correct answer is 90. The coefficient of coupling between two coils is 0.45. The first coil has an inductance of 75 mH and the second coil has an inductance of 105 mH. What is the mutual inductance between the coils? A. 3.54 mH, B. 7.88 mH, C. 39.9 mH, D. 189.3 mH. The correct answer is 39.9 mH. Increasing the number of turns of wire on the secondary of a transformer will A. Increase the secondary current, B. Decrease the secondary current, C. Have no effect on the secondary current, D. Increase the primary current. The correct answer is decrease the secondary current. What is the turns ratio of the transformer needed to match a 1K source resistance to a 160 load? A. 2.51, B. 0.41, C. 6.251, D. 16:1. The correct answer is 0.41. The transformer turns ratio determines A. The ratio of primary and secondary voltages, B. The ratio of primary and secondary currents, C. The reflected impedance, D. All of the above. The correct answer is all of the above. Mutual induction is dependent on A. Winding ratios, B. Output polarities, C. DC voltage levels, D. Current changes. The correct answer is current changes. A special transformer used to convert unbalanced signals to balanced signals is the A. Balloon, B. Auto transformer, C. Center tapped transformer, D. Step across transformer. The correct answer is balloon. If the primary power of an ideal transformer having a 2:1 voltage ratio is 100 watts, the secondary power is A. 100 watts, B. 50 watts, C. 75 watts, D. 200 watts. The correct answer is 100 watts. A transformer has A. Primary and secondary windings, both of which are considered inputs, B. Primary and secondary windings, both of which are considered outputs, C. A primary winding used as an output and a secondary winding used as an input, D. A primary winding used as an input and a secondary winding used as an output. The correct answer is a primary winding used as an input and a secondary winding used as an output.